I'm Banks.
I'm Josh.
Odd places going viral. Take it away, Josh.
So Banks, what exactly is a peaceful protest? Besides an oxymoron, in my opinion, but what is a peaceful protest?
Okay, so take it apart. Peaceful as in non-violent. Peaceful as in
Okay.
as in we're going to state our case and we're going to be loud. Maybe it's going to be peaceful. We're not going to fight. We don't want to encourage fighting or
Yeah.
any aggression. Okay.
Okay. So non-aggressive, non-violent. Got it.
Right. Protest is you're protesting. Let me see if I can explain it without using the word. You are standing up to the injustices of whatever. I mean, of life, of government, of society. So you are saying, I'm against this because of this, and I'm going to do it peacefully. There you go.
Okay.
Peaceful protest.
Fair enough. I like your definition. Non-aggressive, non-violent, standing up for what's right. Good. Now, can you name one major social change that was a result of a non-aggressive, non-violent protest that did not get violent at any point during that social change? In fact, I'll give you social, economic, political change. Can you just name one, please, for me?
I can't. I don't know any. I mean,
I can't either. I tried. I've been racking my brains out. I can't think of one. And the irony hit me that this entire country was founded on violent protest, violent war, and now we want people to do peaceful protesting and just follow these rules. Stay in this zone over here. Don't be violent. Don't vandalize. Don't do any of this kind of stuff. But that's not going to change anything. And I just thought peaceful protest is actually an oxymoron. I don't think that's for change, right? It's not. It doesn't work. It's ineffective. It's like a limp biscuit.
Okay. So what you're saying is true change comes from violent protests.
Look, if you can come up with an example otherwise, I'm happy to entertain it. I just can't think of any single major significant change that at some point along its trajectory did not include violence or aggression.
Okay, let's go with intention. You ready?
Okay.
Intention. So my intention, or let's say the civil rights intention in the 1960s, Martin Luther King Jr., the intention was, I'm going to show you, Martin Luther King Jr., I'm going to show you the inequalities that are out there.
Yeah.
Okay? So he does that. And his whole mantra was peaceful.
Nonviolent. Yes.
Nonviolent, peaceful. Right. Do not engage. The engagement came from, I mean, I'm sure, I don't know. History tells me that I have no idea who began the violence. There was violence there, okay? Just like there is violence on the streets now for the Black Lives Matters. If you look at intention, the intention was, I'm bringing these to you guys' face. Look at this. Just look at this, you know? And now we want to elect people to make change, to change the laws. So the intention was to bring it to the forefront. And that's what's happening right now. Oh my gosh.
Right.
I mean,
absolutely. It hasn't been 100% peaceful, but it's been fairly peaceful.
Yeah. So what you're saying, if you had to predict the future, this is going to get violent as we go along.
One or two things are going to happen. It's going to not get violent, and it's going to die out, and nothing's going to change of significance. We're going to see another Black person murdered, mistreated, abused, harassed by the police. We see it constantly, almost every day. Now that everyone's got a camera with them, we're seeing it a lot more often. Or it's going to get messy, and we're going to see some real change. I don't know. I can't see a third option. And I'm not an advocate for violence at all. I believe in nonviolence. But here's what I believe more than nonviolence: justice, the right thing,
Okay.
ethics, morality. I believe in those more than I believe in nonviolence.
Okay. So let's say this Black Lives Matter, uh, creates a change in legislation, which means a change in these people, I'm included, go out and vote. And by voting, they are responsible for their representative, and they take the representative's hand and they lead them to, they lead instead of the representative leading, instead of
Right.
what we think of the leaders leading. And change happens through legislative processes.
That's one kind of change. It's insufficient, and I think we'll talk about this on another episode, that it's highly insufficient. Look, we did the 1964 Civil Rights Act. You know what that did? It gave rights to people that already had them. All it did was take away people's legal opportunity to discriminate based on rights that these folks, people of color, women, they already had these rights. We needed a law to tell us not to discriminate against them because of those. It's unnecessary. So this goes into how do you legislate morality? But I want to do that on a whole separate. We're going to do a whole separate one on that. I'm just suggesting that we're so caught up in proper and order that we sometimes forget that we place that higher importance than change, than the right thing, than doing the right thing for people. And I see that a lot, and I'm worried about that, and it's just not going to work.
So do you believe that change only happens in conflict or during conflict?
I'm still searching for an example otherwise.
So
That's human, by the way, that's human nature too. Right? That's human nature. Unless I have to change, I'm not going to. I'm not just, the government's not just going to suddenly give me all this stuff because they feel bad for me. No, the government's going to change when we force them to. Right. There's no other way.
I get that. And that's what's happening. I mean, people are just, that is what happened. Well, I'm going to go to evolution, and that is, in evolution, the amphibian, the fish wanted to get out of the water because there was
wanted to or had to, one of the two.
For whatever reason. And there was turmoil, there was conflict. There was like, I've got to get the bug that's out there. How do I get the bug that's out there? And I'm going to grow legs, or legs were grown in time. The point is, there has to be turmoil or conflict or stress in order for growth to happen. And that's, I mean.
Yeah. Look, human nature is equilibrium. Human nature, or just nature in general, loves equilibrium. Right? It searches for it. It just wants status quo. That is natural. The status quo is, and then a storm comes and we have to adapt, and that's why we grow. That's why trees grow strong, because they have to for the storms. But in the end, it's still all about equilibrium. So we have to fight that socially, economically, with morals, ethics.
Whew. That's not easy. I mean, aren't we doing this on a day-to-day basis? Aren't we trying to stay on equilibrium? You know, this side gets a wave, and now this swings to the other side, and it gets the wave.
I just want to eliminate peaceful as an adjective before protest. That's all. We need to outlaw the word peaceful when it comes to protesting, because it's stupid. It doesn't make sense.
What word is best?
We don't need a word before. It doesn't need an adjective. Protest means we're standing up for change, and we're not going to stop until change happens. Now, the means of getting there, whatever, it's going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be violent or not violent, but we want change.
I'm Banks.
I am Josh.
Odd places going.
Viral, baby.
Wow.